Hello everyone, this is Karen.
Hello everybody, remember me? I'm Shan.
Today we're looking at part 1 of false memories or parallel realities. And the vocabulary words are researcher.
Researcher.
Researchers carried out a study on the health benefits of quality sleep.
Remark.
Remark.
The teacher remarked that all of his students had passed the test.
Tragic.
Tragic.
Charlotte lost her son in a tragic car accident last year.
Investigation.
Investigation.
The government official is under investigation for participating in illegal activity.
Recall.
Recall.
From what I recall, the post office is about 2 blocks from here. So we're talking about something very interesting. False memories and parallel realities.
I do remember this, but is that a false memory? We'll see.
That sounds a little bit deep and a little bit complicated.
So we're talking about the Mandela Effect, right? Why is this thing called the Mandela Effect?
Because of Nelson Mandela?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay. So what about him?
I think there was a researcher that actually noticed this thing that happened, and then she kind of started seeing, okay, maybe there are different realities. So for example, okay, I'm going to give you an example about that. We all know Nelson Mandela, right? And some people believe that, oh, wow, I think Nelson Mandela, he actually died in prison in 1980s. And then after this person talking to his friends or, her group of friends, and then she finally realized, no, actually, he was released from prison in 1990s. And then he became the president
of South Africa.
Exactly. And then he died in 2013. But a group of people who all share the false memory believe that, hey, maybe this is the parallel reality.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of these things I've seen on social media or on the internet where a lot of people could swear that something is one way, and they find out it's a different way, and they think, whoa, that's so weird. We both have this false memory.
Exactly.
Maybe there's something more to it. All right, let's learn more about this. This is very interesting.
All right, enjoy.
False memories or parallel realities. Here's a common situation. You're reminiscing with someone about an event, only to discover that you both remember things quite differently. Usually, you'd put it down to a poor memory. But what if it wasn't just one person who remembered things differently? What if it was millions?
Today's lesson is called False Memories or Parallel Realities. Ooh. Part 1. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And this article, this 2-day article, is going to be a little bit of a brain tease, a brain squisher, a brain twister. It's going to kind of confuse you, but that's because our brains can confuse us. There are things in our lives, things we've learned or heard or experienced that we think are absolutely true. We would bet money on them, but we're wrong. Our brain can give us false memories, bad information. We can remember things, but over time that memory changes, but we still trust it like it is the total 100% truth.
We do form false memories, people say, but there's another explanation that other people have for what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about parallel realities. How interesting. Anyways, let's start to get to the bottom of these things because, yes, it's going to get a little bit tricky. Okay, here's a common situation. You're reminiscing with someone about an event, only to discover that you both remember things quite differently. Yeah, we were both there, but we saw something different? How weird. Maybe that's the whole parallel reality thing kicking in.
There you go. So you were both at this event, but when you talk about it later, maybe years later, you discover that you and the other person who were both there remember it in a very different way. Now, usually you'd put it down to a poor memory. But what if it wasn't just one person who remembered things differently? What if it was millions?
Millions.
Now, if it's you and your friend talking and they have a different memory, you might say, oh, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's so long ago I got a little, mixed up in my brain. But what if it wasn't just you? What if it was millions of people who all remembered something the same way, but it's wrong? That does sound kind of like a beginning of a science fiction movie
Mind
where
blown.
everyone in the world wakes up and they've all forgotten something important.
Anyways, folks, with that, it is now time for us to take a short break. But don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 False Memories or Parallel Realities， 是错误记忆还是平行现实呢？同学们应该都有听过平行宇宙吧？那么 parallel reality 平行现实就跟平行宇宙指的是一样的东西。那这个说法就是说，在我们已知的范围之外，还有许多不同的世界或是宇宙存在，然后彼此就像平行线一样没有交集。为什么会扯到这个呢？其实我们这2天的课文是关于曼德拉效应 Mandela Effect。那就是指说没有关联的一群人不约而同的对过去发生的一些历史有相同的错误记忆，也就是说不相干的一群人集体记错一样的事。好，课文一开始提到一个常见的情况哦，当你在跟某个人回忆一个事件的时候呢，结果却发现你们2个记的事情完全不一样诶。那只有一个人记错就算了，可能是记性不好。可是如果有好几百万个人都一起记错呢？该不会真的有平行宇宙吧？好，我们这边补充一下，课文用到 reminisce 这个动词，它表示追忆或是回想。那我们直接回到课文中。
False memories or parallel realities. In fact, this isn't a what-if situation. It's known as the Mandela Effect, and it was first noticed in 2009 by paranormal researcher Fiona Broome. Broome was chatting with people about the South African activist Nelson Mandela, and she remarked how tragic it was that he had died in prison in the 1980s. Many in her group agreed, while others mentioned that Nelson Mandela had not died in prison. Actually, he'd been released in 1990, become president of South Africa, and died in 2013.
What if millions of people misremembered the same thing? Oh, wow. Well, get this, everyone. In fact, this isn't a what-if situation, okay? It's known as the Mandela Effect, and it was first noticed in 2009 by paranormal researcher Fiona Broome. So there you go. There is some science behind this. Why? Because this person is a researcher. Now, a researcher is kind of like a scientific investigator. A researcher will look into something deeply in a detailed and thorough way in order to explain something or to learn about something. Yeah, researchers do research, by the way. A researcher, okay, this word is a noun. For example, researchers carried out a study on the health benefits of quality sleep. By the way, she is a researcher, but the fact that she's a paranormal researcher, I don't know exactly how to feel about that.
A paranormal researcher would look into ghosts and spirits and haunted houses and things like that. Is it science?
Exactly.
I'm not sure you can go to university and get a PhD in paranormal research. But anyways, this person hopefully is using a very sort of traditional scientific way of studying this, and she noticed this weird false memory thing. Let's find out how. Broome, it says Broome was chatting with people about the South African activist Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa. And she remarked how tragic it was that he had died in prison in the 1980s.
He didn't die in prison.
He was the president in the 1990s.
He didn't die in prison.
He was released from prison in the 1990s. So this is not true. Nelson Mandela did not die in prison. He was released. He became president. He died a few years ago, a retired, happy old man. All right, so this is something that she remarked on. When you remark on something, this verb is basically just means to comment. You say something interesting that's related to a topic. If your friend's telling a story about a restaurant they went to last week, you might remark, "Oh, I went there too last month." So you're just commenting on something that is relating to what the topic is, what people are talking about. For example, the teacher remarked that all of his students had passed the test. He just mentioned it because it was, relevant or important to what they're talking about.
Oh, in this sentence, we also have the vocabulary word tragic to talk about. If something is tragic, it's really sad. It's terrible. It's a tragedy. Yes, the word tragedy is a noun. The adjective form is tragic. It's a tragedy is something very bad and dramatic that happens to someone. It's just terrible. And you can describe an event like this as being tragic. For example, Charlotte lost her son in a tragic car accident last year. Now that's a real tragedy. Losing a child. Oh my goodness, how tragic.
There you go. So this person had remembered that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 1980s. This is not true.
No,
many, it says though, many in her group agreed. Yeah, I remember that. While others mentioned that Nelson Mandela had not died in prison. Actually, he had been released in 1990, become president of South Africa, and died in 2013. Yeah, that's what happened to him.
Yes, he'd been released in 1990, become president of South Africa, and then he died later on in 2013. He didn't die in prison.
No.
It was kind of big news when he was released, actually. Big international, gigantic
They made
news.
Movies about it.
They made movies out of it.
Yes.
Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be back after this.
事实上，真的有发生很多人集体记错一个事件的情况哦。那这个情况被称为曼德拉效应。这个现象最早是在2009年被一位超自然研究员 Fiona Broom 所注意到的。他当时跟人家聊天，聊到南非的社运人士曼德拉，他谈到说，1980年代曼德拉在狱中不幸过世，然后那一群人其中有很多人都同意他的说法，可是却有一些人提到说，曼德拉没有死在狱中啊，事实是说他在1990年获释出狱，然后成为南非总统。那后来他其实是在2013年过世的。我们先来看3个单字 ，researcher 或是 researcher， 它表示研究人员或是调查员。那么 remark 可以当动词或当名词，当动词就表示说起或是谈论，当名词表示谈论或是评论。那 Mike 老师提到 remark 是对相关的话题来发表一些言论，那老师用到 relevant 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 就是形容有关的相关的。好，下一个单字 tragic 它是形容词，形容不幸的或是悲惨的。那它的名词是 tragedy 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 表示不幸、惨剧或是悲剧。好，那再看到补充单字 paranormal， 它是由字首 para 表达超越，然后加上 normal 正常的组合在一起 paranormal 就是表达超自然的或者是科学无法解释的。还有 activist 表示社会运动人士。介华课文中
false memories or parallel realities. Broom was so shocked at this that she started an investigation. It turns out she wasn't the only one who'd experienced this. People have memories of movies that never existed and famous words that were never spoken. There is even a group who clearly recall seeing maps showing that New Zealand was northeast of Australia. It's southeast. So what in the world is going on?
Let's learn more about paranormal researcher Fiona Broom. Broom was so shocked at this that she started an investigation, which makes sense. That's what researchers do. But yes, she was shocked that so many people had this false memory or that so many people had misremembered something.
That's right. And so she started an investigation, as you mentioned. That's what scientists, researchers, police might do. If there's a problem, a question, if something happened, and we want to know a lot more about it, we'll have to start or launch or organize an investigation. This is a planned out, organized, in-depth research activity. You're going to find out everything about it, the who, the what, the where, the why, the how. You're going to record all this stuff, write up a big report, bring in all the experts and scientists you can find to give their opinion and, give their advice and knowledge to this to try to come up with really good answers, really good explanations. A police investigation would hopefully end by catching the bad guy. The scientific investigation would hopefully end by writing a big report and a paper with all sorts of new discoveries in it. But you can't guess. You have to do the investigation. For example, the government official is under investigation for participating in illegal activity. Ooh. They noticed some funny things going on at his bank, so now the police are looking through all of his records to find out if he's stealing money.
Anyways, Fiona Broom started investigating. She started an investigation.
She wanted to know more.
She wanted to know more. And get this, it turns out she wasn't the only one who'd experienced this. Yeah, people have memories of movies that never existed and famous words that were never spoken. They remember things like movies that were never made and words that were never spoken.
Really?
How spooky.
Like in Space Wars where Garth Vandal says, "Luke, I am your brother."
That would be Star Wars, and I don't know who
Darth Vader. A false memory. There is even a group who clearly recall.
I'm so confused right now.
There is even a group who clearly recall seeing maps showing that New Zealand was northeast of Australia, but it's actually southeast of Australia. So people who'd seen a map, I remember seeing a map and Australia's here and the islands of New Zealand are up here, but actually they're down there. So they recall this, they remember this, but it's wrong.
It's wrong. It's just wrong. Totally wrong.
Yeah, it's not where it is.
By the way, if you can recall something, you can remember that thing. You can bring it to mind. It's in your memory somewhere, and yes, you can bring that back to the front of your mind. Oh, yes, I remember that. I recall that. For example, from what I recall, the post office is about 2 blocks from here. Yeah, I haven't been there in ages, but let me think. Yes, if I recall correctly, 2 blocks. Walk 2 blocks and you'll get there.
So there we go. We have people who misremember things that didn't happen. They get places where countries are located completely confused. There's no information out there telling them that this is true. So what in the world is going on? Why are people remembering these basic facts, these things that did happen, but in a completely mixed up, confused, and incorrect way? What's going on?
That's what we'll talk about next time, because right now it's time for us to take a break. See you next time.
Bye.
有些人跟 Fiona Broom 一起记错，以为曼德拉是在1980年代死在狱中。他觉得，一起记错这件事非常不可思议耶，于是就开始调查，结果发现他并不是唯一有这种经验的人。人们竟然会对于从不存在的电影，或者是从没被说过的名言，都会有记忆耶。那么 Jeff 老师刚刚用到 spooky 这个字来描述这种现象 ，spooky，spooky 是形容阴森可怕的，或是令人毛骨悚然的。好，最后来看2个单字 ，investigation， 它表示调查、侦查。那它的动词是 investigate 表示调查、研究。那我们把这个动词的字尾 e 改掉，变成 or， 变成 investigator 就可以指调查人员或是研究者。另外，我们要表达深入的调查，我们可以用到形容词 in depth， in 连字号 depth， in depth 它是形容深入的或是彻底的。最后一个单字 recall 是动词，它表示回忆起或是记得。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们的文法单元。今天要介绍的文法重点有4个，第一个是 only to 加原形动词，第二个是 put something down to something， 第三个是 what if， 第4个是 it turns out 加上 that 子句。好，我们先来学 only to 加原形动词。Only to 加原形动词，它表示结果却怎么样，不料怎么样怎么样，是用来强调结果出乎意料之外，令人惊讶或是令人失望。好，那它的用法是主词加动词，逗号 only to 加原形动词，特别注意 only to 加原形动词是要接在子句的后面哦。例如 They took a taxi to the restaurant only to find it fully booked。他们搭计程车去那间餐厅，结果却发现它客满了。好，接着我们来学 put something down to something。put something down to something 是指把什么什么归因于什么。举例来说 ，The mistake was put down to her carelessness。那个过失被归因于她的疏忽，是她的粗心大意所造成的。好，那接着来学 what if。What if 主词加动词是用来表达要是怎么样怎么样该怎么办，万一怎么样怎么样该怎么办。那句型当中的这个 what if 就跟 what would happen if 意思是一样的。后面接的子句呢，我们可以用直说法，也就是时态你就照正常变化，也可以用假设法来表达跟事实相反的情况。那我们来造2个例句。What if we get lost in the mountains？ 要是我们在山区迷路了该怎么办啊？好，这边子句呢 get lost 我们用就是正常时态变化，所以它是直说法哦。再造一个例句 What if we ran into a bear on the hiking trail？ 要是我们在登山步道上遇到熊怎么办？是不是要装死，还是把它报警处理？没有，应该要保持冷静，然后慢慢的向后退。好，注意到这个句子里面，我们这个动词用 ran， 可是它用过去式，可是我们还没有发生这件事，所以它这边是用假设法来表达。最后我们来学 it turns out 加上 that 子句。好，句型 it turns out 加上 that 子句表示结果是怎么样，最后变成怎么样。那其中的片语 turn out 它表示原来是什么什么，结果发现什么什么。那我们用虚主词 it 来代替后面的 that 子句。例如It turns out that the restaurant has moved to a new location。结果啊，那间餐厅已经搬迁到新的地方了。我们结果发现这样的状况。好，那么以上是今天重点整理，我们下次见喽，拜拜。
欢迎来到 English in Action， 我是 Holly，
I'm Shane。
今天的主题是什么？
不行。
哈？
不行。
你不要跟我讲主题哦。
是不行。
哦，不行哦。
没办法。
没办法。OK， 那我们可以进入对话吗？
不行。
哦，
没办法。
好。
那对啊，就是进入啊。
哦 ，OK， 进入不行没办法的对话。
对。
OK。Here, hold this for me, please.
No way.
Hey. 为什么不帮我拿这个？这很可爱耶。
因为我吃素，我不想碰它。
那。
哦，还好吗？
好难过。Anyway， 今天的主要句子是
No way，
完全没有办法
No way，
一点可能都没有
Zero way，No way。
还有呢？
还有一个很可爱的 No can do。
No can do， 其实这个文法是有点怪怪的，
而且听起来有点不知道怎么说，有点讨厌。
对
No
can do。其实这个文法其实不是对的，可是大家就 讲久而久之就变对了。
对，就是一个 expression。
对
No
can
do。
还有呢，一个比较高级的讲法
That's out of the question。
哦，这连问题都不用问了，就是 no。
That's out of the question。
完全不用问了。
No way. Okay, so if you don't know how to say it in English,
靠我们就对了。No way.
No way.
No can do.
No can do.
That's out of the question.
That's out of the question.